when I hear about boutique automobile manufacturers such as Zenvo, Donkervoort, GTA Spano, Ariel, and so on, it usually just is a dime a dozen. They make track cars that either handle well or blow up, sometimes both. Therefore, when Ultima was introduced into top drives, I threw it into the same basket as the other manufacturers mentioned above. However, the Ultima RS, which happens to be our next prize car, is trying to break that mold. The Ultima RS almost feels like a homologation car. However, the Le Mans race car that is trying to represent doesn't even exist. That's right, the Ultima RS aspires to be an old school 24-hour racing machine that's also road legal. Quoted from Ultima themselves, the Ultima RS will always be a manual shift supercar to cater for those true driving enthusiasts who appreciates and craves its philosophy. So what exactly is the embodiment of the Ultima RS? Well, it's mostly entirely carbon fiber wrapped around a Chevrolet LT5, the same engine loaded onto the C7 Corvette ZR1. It's also equipped with a 6-speed manual gearbox sourced from Porsche. In terms of its performance, it's usually quite bewildering, as the Ultima RS produces 1,200 horsepower and accelerates to 60 in under 2.4 seconds, with a top speed of 250 miles per hour. When it comes to top drives, the Ultima RS is everything you'd want from a high-performance racing machine: 2.3 for a 0 to 60, a top speed of 250 miles per hour, 93 handling, and weighing under a ton. Telling you the stats alone is truly impressive, right? But when we take off our rose-tinted glasses, the Ultima RS basically is a heavier 164 Pro car with a worse 0 to 60. That being said, however, the fact that I'm even comparing the Ultima RS to the Alpha Pro Car 164 itself is a compliment. So introducing your next prize car, the Ultima RS. Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. And as you know from the intro today, the next prize car is indeed the Ultima. Now, like I said, man, the Ultima is just one of those prize cars where like I don't really like it's one of those boutique manufacturers, all right? If I had to quote myself from the autobiography itself, it's one of those boutique manufacturers like Donkervoort, Zenus, Ariel, that I just really don't know much about. I'm a very basic, car person, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that I don't know anything about cars, but like I'm a very basic lover, as in like I love me my Mercs and my Dodges, those mainstream brands. So when it comes to things like Ultima, I don't know too much about, and you would have to do a lot of research for prize cars like this. But if I were to just, free speech it, I guess, or, go off script, I think that this car is pretty cool, to be fair. First of all, the entire car, at least the one in this photo, looks like it looks like the Stig. It looks like if the Stig was a car, something to do with the color and maybe the windshield. But yeah, the entire thing is literally just carbon fiber, and I think it's pretty cool that it's LS swapped. Basically, it has a Corvette ZR1 engine inside. It is mid-engine, so it's not really in the front, and it has transmission, or it has a transmission manual gearbox or whatever from Porsche as well, which is pretty cool. Doesn't have the PDK though, but it is really cool. And I gotta say, like, the stats on paper look really good. Like 250 miles per hour, 2.3 for a 0 to 60, 93 handling, like that's all really good, and it's also really light, coming in under a ton. But like I said, you compare it to the Alpha, they handle the same. Yes, the Ultima has a higher top speed, but if the Ultima literally has a higher top speed, like literally, like if the Ultima has a higher RQ because it has a higher top speed, it wouldn't really make it any better than the Pro car, even though it's 1 RQ higher. In fact, if it has the same performance as the Pro car, it would be worse than the Pro car because it would be more expensive to use, and it's the same thing. The only difference between both of these cars, let's say if they have the same MRA, because the Pro car I think has about 95, 97 MRA, something like that. So if the Ultima RS has about the same MRA, they're going to perform the same in the drags. And the only difference is going to be the test bolt because of the higher top speed. And if they have the same 0 to 60, the Pro car is actually going to be better because it has a lower 0 to 60. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's very interesting. And not to mention, even in the twisty stuff, the Pro car, even though it looks like the bigger car, is the lighter car here. So It'll be interesting to see how the Ultima RS performs, but at the end of the day, the Ultima RS does have performance tires, so you can use it in the rain. The 164 does not. The Pro car also, the RS also is a 2-seater, and the Pro car is a 1-seater. So there are pros and cons to each car, but it'll be interesting to see how well it performs. But anyway, guys, let's get it straight into it. We're gonna start off with Easter Bunny Origins, and then after Easter Bunny Origins, we're gonna move on to the prelims as well. I didn't really play the qualifiers. I had a really important morning class. And obviously events for me end at 6 a.m. so I wasn't going to play all the way until 6 a.m. Because I had a really important class to teach at 9. So what I tried to do was set my alarm at 5:40, and then, you know, play for like 20 minutes, go back to sleep. But I kind of slept through that alarm. I have sleeping gummies now because I've always had, you know, trouble sleeping. So I have sleeping gummies now, and I kind of just slept through it. But yeah, the most important thing is that I did not sleep through, you know, my morning class as well. But anyway, let's get into today's video, and there's gonna be one drag that we need to use, and I think for that one drag, I'm gonna be sticking with the Maybach 57S. I think that's gonna be like the perfect car to use. And for the twisty situations, I'll go with the Volkswagen CC 750D, 740, and RQ34. I mean, what can we use in between over here? Maybe I should get rid of this, and that gives us a 56 and a 55. I can use the 520D and use an RQ50 substitute. Like the Phaeton, maybe something like this. I can't really remember what the track sets were. I just remember that there was one like really fast track set. And obviously if it's like standard tires, 4-wheel drive, you can't go wrong with, like, you know, I mean, if it's twisty wet, then you can't go wrong with standard tires, 4-wheel drive. So I think this is a pretty decent hand. Maybe I might need to use a little bit of hybrid cars, so we'll see if I need to switch anything. But I do believe that a key car for this event is going to be that Maybach. For the fast stuff, that Maybach is going to be really, really strong. I mean, what are all the cars that we can use in here? I mean, a couple legendary BMWs are probably going to be better than the Maybach. It'll be interesting though, because like the Maybach is definitely going to beat like the Audi and the 745, especially if they're only at 1 star. So I do believe that that is the best option to use. Yeah, see that there are 2 drags here, but then again, this is where the 750D shines, because this car is actually pretty good for the drag as well, mainly because it has a very low 0 to 60. I'll put you in for slalom, I'll put you in for Tokyo Loop, I'll put you in for fast circuit. I think the CC is going to be pretty strong as well. If there are 2 drags for a majority of the track set, so for the next 2, it might be pretty good for me to finally invest in the rear wheel drive center tire BMW that I have. I mean, it would be a good time for me to invest in it if this was the prelims and I had time, but there's only 10 hours left in this event, so there really isn't a point. But the car that I was talking about was this, the 750i, because I think this car actually has decent MRA. So if I actually max it out, it would be pretty good for this event. Yeah, I mean, there's a test boat in the Tokyo drag here. Interesting. Maybe I should use 2 Maybachs. Now I'm starting to think that 2 Maybachs might be the way. I don't know. I'm going to lose pretty heavily on that Tokyo drag, but I think I'm going to win all the other races, so I'm not too worried about it. So let's check it out. 61. All right, 177 and 75. All right, last track set. Let's check it out. If there are 2 drags on this track set, then I will substitute. I will bring in the other Maybach. Tokyo drag. No, just Tokyo drag. So it's 1 drag. So it's like a 50-50. It's like a 50% you're going to get 2 drags. 50% you're going to get 1 drag. I'll put you in Tokyo drag. You're going to be good for the loop. I'll keep you for a hairpin, you for Tokyo bridge, and you for car park. I think I'll just stick with the 1 Maybach. For sure, that Maybach is super useful. I only have 1 right now. I had 2 at one point, but the other one I had was an epic, and I fused it away into a legendary, which I'm like kind of thinking maybe I shouldn't have done so, because it's really good. But at the same time, it also, you know, it's worth it. Like if I fuse it away, it's worth it. It's going into a legendary that I really like nonetheless. I think I put it into my T16 Peugeot price car, the RQ100. So let us continue. But once again, just another event where this 750D turns out to be useful. And the 750D, like, it doesn't have good stats in my opinion. Like 82 handling 4-wheel drive center tires for a 79 RQ car is really bad, but it's one of those cars where I've raced it a lot, and like the win ratio isn't as bad as I thought. Like 81% for an epic, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, I'll be honest. Alright, so this is the Hairpin Road Circuit Loop, so I'll put you there. You're gonna win that. You're gonna lose the car park for me actually, but I don't really care. Tokyo Bridge, and you're gonna win Tokyo Loop. I actually don't know. Tokyo Loop is more MRA based, but I don't think this BMW has MRA anyway. Yeah, we do win by 50. That's actually like, to win by less than a second with such a big RQ gap stings a little bit, but we take the dub at the end of the day, so I don't really mind. And at the end of the day, it's a 5-0. So all right, next up we're gonna go to Ultima RS prelim. So the hand that I'm using is quite unorthodox actually. I'm running a common, the Fiat Cinquecento, Fiat Cinquecento, I think it's Cinquecento Sporting. Using 2 heavy legendaries and 2 decent 4-wheel drive cars. Basically how it works with this track set, right, is that for the prelims there's always one super twisty, like, you know, a car park or a G-force, and usually you lose the least on a car park or a G-force. Like on the super twisty stuff is when you lose the least. So like I'm gonna just put the common there, and hopefully the other 4 cars will carry their weight. So this one should win by more than 100. Yeah, oh, almost 200. Jeez. All right, we take that, and you look at that, we only lost by 50, dude. Against a max ultra rare, we only lost by 50. You see what I mean? Like, if you lose by 9 seconds on a G-force, you lose by 50. I mean, I'm exaggerating that. You lose by 9 seconds on a G-force, you will lose by more than 50. But for exaggeration purposes, you lose by 9 seconds on a G-force, you lose by 50. You lose by 9 seconds on a drag, and you lose by like 400. Like, it's night and day. It's actually night and day, and that's why, like, whenever I see like a G-force or something, I'm just like, yeah, that's where I'm gonna save my RQ. And yeah, again, dude, I mean, we lost the first race, as you saw, by 50, and we lost the total by 100. We do some quick maths. That common lost by 50 again. I don't know, man. This may be the move. I always like to change my hand as the event like kind of evolves. But right now, this hand is kind of banging. Like, not gonna lie, this hand is kind of banging. All right, this one we're definitely going to lose by 50. I feel like this one we're gonna lose by maybe 110. But I still don't care. I still do not care, because I do believe that we're gonna take the dub here as well. Yep, 4-wheel drive, and of course the Pagani Zonda lacks both traction control or ABS. I think one or the other, or maybe even both. I said we're going to lose by 110. We lost by 120. That's fine, because we're going to win this by 100, at least 144. So yeah, we're going to win the last one easy as well. 2-star, baby. I like it. I think this is the one with the prelim award that I actually want. Yeah, I already have this, and I think a lot of you guys may realize that the TCR is a little bit of a disappointment. So the GTV Cup is what I'm genuinely looking forward for. And once again, guys, the final, as you know, is indeed I just realized there's a city street here. Well, I'll use you for the city streets then, because these are low, aren't they? Yeah, they are. All right, so and it's like a lot of dry here. Okay, so I'll put you for the 1 mile. I'll put you for the slalom. So those two is gonna win, and I might win mountain slalom. Forest Road, I'm not gonna win that, even though my car's 4-wheel drive. Forest Road has that long straight at the end where the Gallardo will just take over. There's just not enough turns here. There are not enough turns here for my Lancia Hyena to actually be good enough. Okay, so like, yeah, we're not even ahead in these turns, and then there's a straight at the end, but we only lose by 50, which is fine. Next up is the Hyena. We're gonna win this for sure. If this was a regular slalom, then we were going to lose, but mountain slalom is like less grip heavy, so that 0 to 60 difference was night and day. This one, I feel like we're only going to lose by 50. It's a city street small, but let's not forget that the Gran Turismo is low ground clearance. Yup, told you so. And then let's see what's next. Lamborghini Aventador, that's gonna win by 50. Has to be the weight. It has to be the weight. We can win this by more than 100 though, so we do win. We win this by more than 100. Yeah, okay, so we still win it, but it was a lot closer than I expected it to be honest. I thought we were gonna win the slalom. Yeah. My Lamborghini. I mean, my Lamborghini is living up to its expectations, which is not much. But come on, man. This is one of the best Lamborghinis that you can unpack. I mean, there's 2 upgrades into it, and you're telling me that we lost that. I think I'll win Twisted Circuit. I got 2 less handling than the Gallardo, but come on, man. It's a twisty circuit, not a twisty road, not a G-force. I think I win that. I think Twisted Circuit, that will be a close one. I think I'll win this car park, and we'll lose again by 50 on the G-force. I'll tell you what, man. I might actually win that G-force. No cap. I think I might actually win that G-force. Let's check it out, okay? This one has to win, please. Thank you. I think both of them, that's kind of cursed because they have Gallardo models, and like an Aventador having a Gallardo model is pretty cursed. I say we win this. I don't know. I have a feeling that we win this. I don't know, man. It's standard tires. Oh, no. Okay, it's close. It's close. Only by 50. Okay, it's close though. It's close. We take that 2 stars as well. And we have a crash. Well, you know what? As I load up this game, I think that is perfect timing to say, guys, that is going to be it for today. At the end of the day, we got 10-0, and I hope you enjoyed the prize car autobiography. Not too many facts about the car. I mean, it's a pretty new car, so I couldn't find too many facts about it, but Ultima is a brand that I don't know very well as well. But I do hope that you still enjoyed the autobiography nonetheless. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold